Right, we are back with another episode of Hooked Golf's concept of cool story, bro. And today we have a very, very special guest, a very talented filmmaker, editor, Father of the Year award, inspirational father, and just an all-round good dude, Mr. Kyle Walton, the founder of Gimme Golf Club. How you doing, dude?
Good, man. Thanks for the intro. That was awesome. That's got to be one of the better intros I've received. So thank you.
All good, man. Like I said, huge fan of you and what you're putting out, the content, sorry, that you're creating on Instagram. Whether it's you filming golf, playing golf, and your daughter's journey into golf as well is absolutely rad stuff. And yeah, how's everything going out in the States for you at the moment, man?
It's good. I mean, I live in the Midwest, so I'm sort of in St. Louis, Missouri. I think, it seems as the new normal is what we're all trying to figure out. Yeah, I mean, my family place stays pretty close to home, so I work from home. My wife works from home, and both my kids are sort of doing the virtual thing right now. So it's kind of it's a little chaotic, but making the most of it, really.
Yeah, for sure, man. And how's your daughter's getting on with the virtual learning at the moment? What's
It's
what's the story?
interesting. I mean, we don't really like the idea of them sitting in front of a computer for 7 straight hours,
Yeah.
but we try to kick them outside in between classes, and they get a little bit of break here and there, but they're pretty responsible, fairly organized. So it is what it is, man.
It is what it is at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hoping for next semester to get them back in and interacting with some other humans.
Yeah, for sure, man. Let's hope that COVID calms down soon, definitely. And
Yeah, I will say that my oldest is not upset about being able to play a little extra G in the afternoon. So
exactly. And the cool thing is as well, and we'll get into this in a bit, is you live on a golf course pretty much, don't you?
yeah, I do. Yeah, it's kind of odd how it happened, but yeah, there's a 36 hole club in my backyard. So I live on a 400-yard par four. I'm at the 150-yard pole. I can walk out and smash a 8 or 9 iron onto the green every night. So it's kind of crazy.
Oh, dude, living the dream there. I can't wait to talk about that as well. And first off, man, how did you get into golf? What's the story there?
It's a good story. I mean, honestly, my grandfather was a big golfer, and so he played a lot. And I came from like a single parent home, so I grew up in a house with my sister, my grandma, and my mom. And my dad was in the picture, but just sort of I would visit him a couple times a year,
Yeah.
and we had a relationship, but it just he just lived in a different state. And so, yeah, my grandfather got me my first set of clubs, and I was second grade. I still have them sitting right over here.
Nice.
Yeah, I just started whacking the ball around, playing with him, and sort of grew to enjoy the game through him. And then as I got older and would visit my dad was really into the game as well. And so it sort of became this sort of bridge, this sort of friendship bridge for us as we were getting to know each other, or just didn't get to see each other very much. And
Yeah.
so when I would travel up to Indiana and visit, like, we would be on the golf course, and it's just one of those things for me. It's like, man, like 4.5 hours with somebody, like, you get closer to them. So it became a really good outlet for that to happen. And then obviously at that point I was just kind of hooked, and played a ton of junior golf, and played a little in college, and was around the game, my whole life. So it was sort of an outlet. I played a lot of sports, so it was sort of an individual outlet for me. I played a lot of team sports,
Yeah.
so I enjoyed the aspect of just it sort of being on me, and not having anyone else to either blame or to feel bad about. And it was this nice thing for me to do. So yeah, I've been around it since I was very, very little, and it holds a sort of a special place for me from a family perspective too.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome, man. And what other sports did you play then growing up?
Soccer, Midwest, St. Louis is a big soccer town, so I grew up playing soccer or football,
Yeah,
however you
whichever
want.
you prefer. Yeah.
Yeah, I played basketball as well. So
Ah, awesome.
yeah,
Awesome, definitely. And no, I completely get what you mean there with, going from a team sport, it's great. And, the camaraderie that you have with everyone's awesome. But sometimes you just want to kick it by yourself, mellow out by yourself. And golf really lets you do that. Whether you're playing with friends or playing by yourself, it's all on you.
yeah,
Which is such a cool thing about golf.
yeah,
No,
for
like you
sure.
said,
And
no
I
one has to
and
blame.
and I think early on for me it was such a results oriented game, so it was pretty frustrating
Yeah.
game for me, and something that I tied results. I tied my enjoyment to results, and I think it wasn't really until about 10 years ago, me and my dad started like a Ryder Cup style family tournament called the
Oh,
Walton Cup.
awesome.
And, it's 20 guys, like traveling trophy, like, polo matching polos, like like we have every point, every match ever we've ever played recorded and documented. And it's like, it became this thing.
Yeah.
And then then you have a text feed, and then life happens and those guys still show up and they talk and they're there for you, and all of a sudden like golf sort of shifted. It was like I don't really care what I shoot ever. Now it's just about who I'm with and the relationships that are built, and sort of enjoying. I say it all the time, like if you can go get out in a field for 4 hours with buddies and play some music and knock a ball around, like you're doing something, that you're doing something good. So, yeah, it's sort of shifted for me in the last decade. And I obviously enjoy the game exponentially more than I did when I was younger, even.
Yeah, 100%, dude. No, I totally agree with you there. And it's quite interesting that you know, 10 years ago you shifted to have a little bit more fun with it, let's say. And I think that's how everyone kind of starts, isn't it? Everyone is so conscious about the numbers, shooting lower scores, and you know, I've been in exactly the same spot before, first starting off golf, and, with a load of buddies as well. And we're concentrating on trying to get birdies when really, if we get a bogey, that's what it's all about, to be honest. And no, I completely get you, man. That's awesome. And that brings me to the next question is, Gimme Golf Club. What's the ethos with that? And for the listeners anyway, and how did it all kind of start?
Yeah, so I mean, at its simplest state, it's a subscription based golf service. It's basically $75 a month, and we have 3 golf courses that you can play unlimited, as much golf as you want for
That's so
$75 a
awesome.
month at 3 different courses in sort of the regional area that we are at. That includes a cart. You can walk if you want, but that includes a cart. And really, the only stipulation is you can't play before like 11 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday. And
Yeah.
I think the ethos from the business for me is there's a lot of golf businesses, at least in the States, that are trying to bring some sort of deal, trying to make golf more affordable, but in a context that usually doesn't benefit the golf course.
Yeah.
It's always some sort of deal for the player and the consumer. And so for me, I was just like, man, like golf is struggling. Like if the courses go away, we lose golf. And
100%.
so I was like, it seemed kind of like a broken model. And so I just sort of flipped it and was like, look, how can we bring value to golf courses? How can we, give them money? How can we bring loyalty back? There's a lot of loyalty to the price of golf around the States, where they're chasing around the best deal. And so they don't care about where they're playing. They care about what it cost. And so to me, it was like, I want community and I want loyalty. I want that local course. I want the pro to know the guy coming in. Like I want them to spend their money there and all these things. So for me, it was like, how do I create a community of people that will spend their dollars inside the golf course and, get a good deal. And, we strike up a deal with the golf course, and we sort of have this little, happy, business model that allows courses to enjoy the people that are coming through, allows the player to get a good deal. And, hopefully we bring value to the golf course.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's such a good ethos to it, and a great deal for everyone. I mean, $75 for 3 courses, unlimited
Yeah,
play.
it's
That's
yeah, it's good,
incredible.
man. I mean, that was always the point too. It's like, and a lot of the guys told me like, hey, I don't think this is going to work. I think it's too cheap. And I'm just like, look, I think that if it scales, it's going to work. If it doesn't scale, it won't work, and
Yeah.
that's fine. Like I won't. I'm not invested so much here that it would be this massive loss, and I'm not looking to make a lot of money off of this idea specifically in general. I want it to work, and I want it to provide the service that it says. And if it scales, then we'll win. If it scales, if it doesn't, then that's fine too.
Yeah, 100%. And you've got to try these things, and that's incredible. And how many members are you guys on at the moment?
Yeah, so we haven't run a single ad on Facebook. I haven't run a single paid ad at all. It's all been word of mouth.
Yeah.
And then obviously, COVID's been an interesting sort of thing to figure out.
Yeah, for sure.
And so we're running at about, I think we have 75, 80 members. We launched in like March.
Wow, that's really good.
And yeah, it's good. I like it. It's in a good place. We actually just sort of were really close to securing like a 5,300 square foot building
Oh, wow.
where we're gonna drop a couple sims in and a putting green and have like a little bar space and a bunch of TVs where we can kind of create like a physical location for like a digital community, so guys can come in and chill. It's gonna, we're gonna call it the clubhouse.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, like we're gonna run some, golf club repair and golf club buying options through there, have some lessons through there, have a bunch of like events where people can roll through and just kind of touch a club for the first time or maybe interact with the game in a different way. I want to have like a super niche merch shop where there's a lot of brands that I'm a fan of that,
Yeah.
you wouldn't see at your big box stores, that you can get access to some cool stuff. So yeah, we're trying to do things a little different and build a community along the way. So yeah, man, it's good. It's going good. And I'm happy with where we're at right now. And I feel like we're sort of poised to have a good second year.
Oh, dude, best of luck with that. That sounds absolutely amazing. That is one of the best ideas I've heard in golf in a long time. That's so cool. And the thing I love about it most is when I was going through the Gimme Golf Instagram was it just looks like you're all having such a rad time. Like, you're all standing in front of the hole and you're putting through each other's legs, and that's what it's about, dude. That is absolutely incredible. And what's the what's the record so far? How many people have made the putt through the legs, and how many people?
So that's usually just what we do is, and this is something that sort of started from my family tournament where we have like a par 3 challenge. So basically, if you hit the green, you have a birdie, you have a chance for the skin.
Yeah.
So we just play a big skins game, and if you hit the green, you have a chance, and if you miss, you just become a spectator, so you don't get to chip. So we'll play 30 guys wide and play 9 holes in like an hour and a half on a par 3 course because 5, 6 guys hit the green and everyone else is just having a drink and becomes a heckler.
Oh,
And
amazing.
so yeah, I mean, if the first guy makes it, everyone else is cheering for the next guy to make it because it cuts the skin.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
right, and if nobody makes it and there's one guy left, well, then he's the biggest enemy. So it becomes yeah, guys who come and play for the first time have no idea what to expect, and they are just usually pretty floored by it. But my stance on that whole thing is there is a place and a time to get up at sunrise and put your peg in the ground and be serious and try to score the best score you can.
Yeah.
And I say if that's like a really, really good dinner at a nice restaurant, then this sort of collective skins game where your shoes are optional and you're having a drink and you're having fun and yelling, like that's dessert. Like there's room for it. It needs to be there. It's a great entry point to a game that is pretty stuffy. And we found that, the guys love it. And the guys who have been around the game for a long time, they almost feel like they're doing something wrong, but it's like, no, we've been approved to do this. The golf course knows what we're up to. It's
That's
okay.
so awesome, man. That's so awesome. And personally, if I was a golfer just starting out and I came across it, I would want to be part of it straight away because it is making golf look so much more appealing, so much more cooler, and a lot more accessible as well. And I think, like you said, it's a bit of a stuffy game. That's the problem at the moment, is that it's turning away new players because of how kind of or prehistoric it is. So the ethos and the way you're doing it is absolutely incredible. And guys, if you haven't checked out Gimme Golf Club yet, please do, because it is absolutely phenomenal. It is one of the best pages I follow. Absolutely love it, and best of luck to you guys with that as well. And hopefully next year, if you have got the store open, I'm definitely going to come down and have a look,
Yeah,
man.
man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you'd be more than welcome. Yeah, we're excited. I mean, we haven't really even announced officially that space to our members yet. Like, we've kind of gone quiet. Like, it's pretty much me, man. It's a
Yeah.
one-man team. And so I've obviously had some video stuff and some work sort of take off here recently. And I haven't been able to give it the attention I want, but I'm hoping that, we can kind of hold on and get to a point where I can dedicate the hours that's needed to make it grow and have a real good, vibe between, creating content and growing this business.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I'm sure you will, which is absolutely awesome. And next thing is, obviously we touched on it a bit earlier, you living on a golf course. How did this come about? And also, how many smash windows have you had?
Gosh. So, I mean, knock on wood, I haven't had a window in my house broken yet. Now, if you
Okay.
go to the side that is sort of facing, the area where the ball will normally, lands, the siding has plenty of dings, and the
Oh,
gutters
wow.
have plenty of dings. But I have had two, windshields of my car busted out in the front of the house. So
No
the
way.
ball went all the way over the house and landed in the driveway, and smashed the back windshield, which the logistics of that doesn't make sense at all to me. Uh, and then the other one hit the front windshield. So fortunately, my buddy is my insurance guy. So every time I call him, he's like, put your car in the garage, Kyle." I'm like, I know, sorry.
That's
But
brilliant.
it's a 400-yard par four that's pretty narrow. I mean, the one downside to this golf course is that it is in neighborhoods. So like
Yeah.
there's just houses everywhere, but it's a catch-22, right? Like, I can complain about there being houses, but then I wouldn't be on the course. So,
So true.
right. I don't really, I don't mind it that much, but I would say that based on statistics, 90% of the golfing community hits a slice or hits a ball left to right.
Yeah.
And it's a 400-yard par four. So we're kind of in the 150, 250. We're kind of in the 220 to 250 range on the right side
So your
of the
prime
hole.
location.
About 40. I think it's about 45 feet from my patio to the cart path. So it's actually not even a bad shot to hit it in my yard.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a pro would do it at some point. Like, it's just not that bad of a shot. And so I think the rumor is that this street wasn't really going to be there, but then the developer found a little sliver of land, and we're kind of like, I think we can do it. And
Amazing.
the hole before it is a par three, so they couldn't make this one a par three. And yeah, it's bad. But when we bought the house, it was the number one pro and the number one con. Number one pro on a golf course. Number one con on a golf course.
100%, man. 100%. I can't even fathom living on like a golf course or anything. Like, you just don't really get that over here. I was talking to Dan from Solo, and obviously
Yeah.
he grew up on one as well, that's absolutely insane, dude. So insane, but pretty lucky, man. Only two windshields. That's pretty good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, not bad. I mean, there's definitely opportunity. And we just put a big patio back there recently, and we're in the process of kind of building this sort of pergola that'll kind of protect us. Because I mean, you just gotta. If there's a scramble out there, if it's like a scramble for like some charity, like, it's bad, man. It's like every shot is just coming at you.
Oh,
So
wow. That's
the
insane.
member, it's a private course, so the members are pretty good. And so we don't worry too much about members hitting us, but when they have those tournaments where guys are kind of dusting off their golf bags to get out
The
there,
society days. Yeah,
that's
for
when we
sure,
got to
man.
duck.
Oh, that's
But it's been I mean, it's a blessing too. I mean, like I said, I get to walk out. I mean, I can just walk out. I walk out and play, and I can start on hole 5 and finish on hole 4 and come back up the hill, and it's all good. And my kid can go out there and putt and sort of, do what she wants to do. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely has its benefits
yeah,
for
for sure, man.
for a golf junkie like me.
Yeah, I can imagine, dude. That's, living the dream right there. And so are you a member of the course as well?
Yeah, I am. And that's solely I'm just a golf junkie. I mean, I couldn't imagine having a course in my backyard and not being there. Like,
100%.
I just want to be able to play whenever I can play. And I work from home and I'm my own boss. So, it's like, and a lot of the work I do is in front of the computer and can be done at night. And so I don't play golf on the weekends because I don't have to. So
Yeah.
I try to play, if I can play once a week, couple times a week. If I'm getting, playing in a big tournament, I can play more than that. But I can also play during the week when it's fast and no one's out there. And then work in the evenings after the kids go to bed. So it's kind of a ideal scenario. But yeah, we joined. I actually had I worked really hard to get a bunch of buddies to kind of move into the neighborhood. So I got like 4 or 5 friends of mine who, like, I've known since high school that are all sort of in the neighborhood, and we all kind of get out and play together. So it's a pretty cool situation. I feel like I could, fast forward things 20, 30 years and I'd still be happy being right in this house with the same people around me playing golf when I can play golf. So
Oh, for sure, man. Literally living the dream. That is incredible, dude. Incredible. And so obviously, how many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids. I have 2 girls.
And both
Kinsley is
golfers as
11.
well.
Yeah, and Addison is 7, and she's just starting to think about it.
Awesome.
Kinsley's done some stuff. I'm obviously, I mean, a lot of people. I put her on Instagram a lot, and it's like it's literally the most popular content I put out there is her
Incredible
swinging golf
swing.
club.
Incredible swing.
But she's just starting to really kind of get into it. So I'm not pushing it. I'm not pushing it on her at all. Last year, she kind of showed up when she needed to show up. I mean, she's 11.
Yeah.
So last year she just kind of went out there whenever the junior PGA stuff is out, which is a really cool format. It's a team format. So they play as like 3 players and they play 9 holes. So if it was like you, me, and somebody else, like me and you would play 3 holes together,
Yeah.
and you and the other person would play 3, and then me and the other person would play 3. And it's a scramble format. So you play 6 holes, you sit 3, and it's like a team game, and it's great. I think it's
Oh
great.
yeah, that's a really cool. Because I was talking to Christian Hafer about that as well. Because his son's doing the same
Mhm.
kind of format. That's it. That's a really cool format to do for the kids out there. Because
Yeah,
that's
it's very it's not scary.
yeah,
They're with people. They're not alone. And they have the team aspect early on, which I think is great. And it's a great intro. And then the coaches can do a good job of pairing people with people so that, you can either cover up some bad play with a good player. And I think it's just a great intro to the game. And we've looked at some individual tournaments, but I'm not in a hurry. I'm just not in a hurry for her to compete.
yeah.
She's enjoying it. She wants to play more. This was the first year she asked to go up to the course by herself.
Oh
She's got a
wow.
13-year-old girl up there who is a pretty good player and is kind of that rabbit out in front of her that she sees what she wants to do.
Yeah, for sure.
So she's just, texts her and they meet up there at 9:30 and practice for 2 hours, and I pick her up at lunch, and then we go back up in the evenings and play. And like, yeah, she put in a lot of hours this year without me, really asking her to, which shows me that she's starting to get the bug. And I think next year is the year we'll look for a couple of those player tournaments and see if we can't get her to, take that next step. But I'm not, my goal with my kids playing golf is that when they leave, I think I've heard it stated before that think you spend 80% of the time that you're going to spend with your kids by the time they're 16 or something like that.
Right. Okay.
Like 16 or 18, like that's it. Like that's 80% of the time that you're going to spend with them in their entire life, because they leave home and they get a family, or they go on and you see them when you see them.
Wow, it's
And
scary, isn't
so
it?
it is. I mean, when you think about it in that context, it's just like, wow, like these moments matter. And so for me, the golf thing, it's almost like a life hack, right? Like if she comes back and she loves the game, well, that's 4.5 hours I'm going to get anytime she comes home. So if she enjoys golf, if my kids enjoy golf, if my family likes golf, like, I don't have to have her come back home from school and, you know, be worried about just sitting at home with me and then going out with her friends and not being around. Like I can kind of steal time with her. So I want my kids to love the game. I want them to at least know how to play, carry some sticks, and enjoy what they're doing. And I just figured down the road, if I can create an enjoyment for her and me, and give me that sort of ability to spend time as she gets older, like that's really the goal. If she gets good and plays well, then sure, that's great too, I guess.
Oh, that's incredible. And like I said in the intro, Father of the Year award right there. That's awesome that it's so organic as well. And
It's just a hack. It's very cynical. I just want her to be. I just want to be able to play golf with her when she comes home, so she doesn't want to run away the second she comes back to go see her friends. It's very cynical. I'm actually not the Father of the Year. I just want to steal time.
For all the dads listening out there, take Kyle's advice. Take note.
Yeah.
That's the one right there. That's brilliant, dude. That's awesome. And no, it's so cool that seeing the videos of her playing, and it's awesome that you guys just get to, in the evenings, go out on your patio and hit some balls.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised she's got the bug. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's not lost on me how, like how cool the current setup is. Like I'm not like I said, I was from a single parent home. My mom had to drive me up. I didn't have, the nicest equipment growing up, and
Yeah.
it took a lot of effort for my mom and for my dad, or for my family in general, to get me to the course and pay for me to play. So like, I try to let her know without being a dad
Yeah, for
that
sure.
she's got it really, really good. And if she likes the game and she wants to play it, then like I never was able to walk out my back. If I was able to walk out my backyard when I was 13 years old, are you kidding me? Like I would never have left the golf course
Oh,
ever.
I'm not surprised.
I
I'm
mean,
not
I love the
surprised.
game and I wanted to be around it, and I had to beg parents to drive me and, like drop me off and leave me there all day and pick me up at dinner time. So, um, you know, yeah, it's not lost on me, the situation that we're in, or, sort of this little, I don't know, this little part of the world that we have access to. It's a good thing from a golf standpoint, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, much love to your mum and dad for doing that for you as well when you were younger, or we wouldn't be having this conversation today, which is awesome, dude. Really cool.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
what's the story with the filmmaking? Obviously, you're an incredible filmmaker and editor. And how did you get started in that? Where did you like kind of find the passion for that?
Yeah, so my background is in graphic design.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't go to school for it. I kind of went to school for marketing and didn't really know what I wanted to be when I grew up, and really still don't. And I think that's okay.
Oh, 100%, man.
Um, but yeah, I kind of have a really weird story of just sort of worked at like a chemistry lab. My buddy was a chemist, and he brought me in to do some random work because job market was tough when I graduated,
Yeah.
and worked my way into like some sort of weird lab technician role, and ended up like being in charge of a lot of the incoming samples and jobs for that chemistry lab. And then some point someone was like, hey, I think we're going to get some new PowerPoint templates made, and they were going to pay like a few $1,000s to have it done. And I was like, that seems easy. Like, I think I could do that. And I, just turned on Photoshop and stayed up all night at some coffee shop and did some stuff, and they liked it. And, basically put me into the role of graphic designer. And I
That's
started
so awesome.
running down that rabbit hole, and learning a bunch of stuff. Started messing with After Effects and some animation things, and um, got me into a job as a product developer with a small company. Made some bathroom scales and food scales and sold them into big box retail. So I got some packaging design experience
Yeah.
and a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and started taking some photos there, maybe a little bit of video, and then moved on to a corporate gig at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Their world headquarters is here in St. Louis.
Oh, okay, cool.
So yeah, so I was a senior designer there, and that's really where, I tried to get a different job within the company, and it didn't quite work out. I didn't quite have the experience, and I was like, man, I'm not doing this graphic design thing forever. Like, I think I want to make some stuff move around, and
Yeah.
so I kind of hacked. I mean, I kind of went in and asked if we could start a video department, and they said yes. And
No way. That's incredible.
I called my buddy who has his own agency, and I was like, hey, I've never really turned on a camera before, but they just gave me clearance for like $40,000 of equipment.
No
Like,
way.
what do I need to buy? And so he sent me a list of what I should buy, and so I bought it all and got it in. And I really hadn't turned on a camera. Like, and so I just head first, just like I did with the graphic design stuff, just dove in and got a couple videos done in-house. They were happy with them. Things were kind of looking good. And then a lot of the ideas that I started to pitch, they would bring me into sort of agency meetings and say, hey, tell them your idea so that they can execute it. And that was sort of where it was like, this isn't the inroad that I want. I want to do. I don't just want to like come up with ideas.
Yeah.
And so started freelancing, and kind of built up a clientele to be able to bounce. And then I did. And then, fast forward a couple of years from there. And I was working with an agriculture company, creating all their content on YouTube. We were banging out like 2 to 3 videos a week, traveling the country, going to different farms and telling different stories in the ag space. And then sort of started an agency from there, started working with other brands. And then, just literally like in the last couple of weeks, I've sort of broke free from that situation and am now sort of on my own and pursuing work in the golf space. And, that whole story was basically, I did a project, a 30 video and 30-day project on my YouTube channel. So I made 30 videos where I shot it, I edited it, and I posted it within a 24-hour time frame.
That's
and
nuts.
And did it for 30 straight days. And it went really well. Like I learned a lot, obviously. You learn how to be quick. You learn how to tell a story. You learn a lot of things. And that's why I did it.
Yeah.
But then I started like considering how I could make money. I wasn't like a Casey Neistat, or I wasn't this like vlogger kind of guy. Like I liked that style, but like I also liked playing golf, and I had a job. And so there just wasn't room for me to make video content, find time to play some golf and work. And so, somebody sent me Eric Anders Lang's Deer Golf video.
Yeah.
Which obviously, I mean, it's a cool video. And he, he was just kind of getting moving at that time. And someone said, hey, this looks like something you would make. And I was like, man, you're right. And so it kind of opened up my eyes to be like, hey, how can I like take these two passions of like telling stories and golf and kind of put them together. And like, that's where it went. Like that was about, I don't know, 11, 12 months ago. And I just pivoted everything and just went all in the golf space. And it's gone good. Like I've, the passions have aligned, and I think it shows in the product that I make. And I'm happy to tell these stories, and I want to tell more. And that's sort of where my focus is right now, is trying to create and tell stories in the golf space.
Yeah, for sure. And, you've got such an eye for it. And, the stories you do tell are absolutely incredible. And one thing I wanted to ask you as well is, obviously you went to the PGA show this year. And how was it, dude? What was it like kind of making the contacts and, and just kind of being immersed in it all as well. How was it?
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, a lot of people are jaded by the golf industry, or at least the guys that have been going there for years and years, and I understand why. It's you think you're making moves in the golf space, and you think the golf space is changing, and then you get down there, and it's just there's still a lot of khaki pants and blue blazers that
For
are making
sure,
a lot of
dude.
decisions,
Yeah,
right? Like
definitely.
you can see where some of that frustration lies, but for me, I was just excited. Like I'd never been down there. The place is massive. There's golf apparel, golf equipment everywhere. Like it's a wild experience. You get to meet a lot of people in the industry. The industry's big, but the industry's small. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So I got to brush shoulders with a lot of people. Sorry about that.
No worries, man.
Thought I had that turned off, but yeah. Hopefully, no one else answers on that. Sorry. But yeah, so it was a great experience. I enjoyed it. Had some good connections, and that's where I met. That's one of the places I met Matt Cardis, who is one of the guys that I've been working with recently. Was able to sort of chat with him down there about opportunities and maybe being able to help him create some content.
Yeah, no, and that's that's the next question is how was it work? So you've done a few things with him now. So obviously with COVID, he was isolating in at two golf courses, and the first one I think where was the first one again?
Sweetens Cove.
That's the one, yeah. And he obviously shot all the video, and you edited it, and then
Mhm.
you just went out and done another kind of series or something with him as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, he approached me. Like I was just thinking about doing another 30 videos in 30 days, but
Yeah.
I was going to lens it towards golf. I was just kind of had the bug, and I was like, man, I'm going to do this. So I put it out on Instagram and being like, I'm thinking about this. And then he sort of dropped in and was like, hey, like, let's talk. And so he was just like, look, here's what, we should make some stuff together. If you really want to make some stuff, like, let's make some stuff. I have a solid following. I'm connected in the industry. Like, this would be a good thing for you. And he was absolutely right. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
I was like, for sure, man, like this is a good thing. And this is what I would love to do. And so, he was like, yeah, I'm quarantining at Sweetens Cove. He's like, and so we just leaned in. I was just like, look, dude, like no one is quarantining at a golf course. Like no one is isolating themselves in a van in a parking lot of one of the, coolest little 9-hole tracks in the world. Like,
Yeah,
it's
for
just not
sure.
happening. So like the visuals of you like showering in the parking lot of a closed golf course off the back of your van, you're gonna go talk to the camera while you're sitting on this like insane green off of number 8 at like there's video of him, like, it flooded while he was there. There's video of him swimming through the middle of a Biarritz green. It's like, I mean, the visuals were just too good. So I was just I gave him some insight and some thoughts on how we should tell the story and how he should shoot some of the footage, because he's a photographer. He doesn't do a ton of video,
Yeah.
and he did a great job. Like he did a good job of telling the story, and it sort of encouraged me to know that he does have a story to tell. I think it's an interesting one. I think it's different
Yeah,
than a lot of other
definitely.
stories in golf, and I was happy to tell it because I think he's a real one. He's a genuine dude, and he's good at what he does, and he's got a great story to tell.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, like you said, he's one of the nicest dudes ever. And guys, check out the episode that we've done with Matt as well from Golf in Your State.
Yeah, and
And
there's more coming there too. We actually have another big project coming up that I can't, I don't know when these I can't really talk about it.
for
So,
sure, for sure.
but there's another one coming, and it's sort of backlogging the rest. But yeah, we went down to the Outer Banks. There's still a few episodes left from his time at Pinehurst, and then I actually went down to the Outer Banks and we shot a week's worth of footage. I mean, we visited a bunch of local places. We played a bunch of golf. We went to some restaurants. We found an abandoned golf course. Like, we did some really fun stuff. So that's all coming as well. So it's there, but other opportunities have sort of popped up, and we got to sort of kill the closest snake right now.
Yeah, for sure, dude. And yeah, guys, check out My Island Green. It's absolutely incredible, and I'm looking forward to the future episodes that you guys have just filmed as well. It sounds absolutely incredible. It's great when two of the best creative minds in the industry get together, and it's just something that you just know it's absolutely gonna top everything off. It's absolutely unreal, dude, and I absolutely love it. And what's for you? You obviously play quite a lot of golf. You live on a golf course, which is awesome. Where's kind of the best course you've played, in your lifetime, and why is it the best course to you?
I mean, I haven't played a ton of, great golf courses. Like I said, my background didn't put me in a position to, play some elite country clubs or, travel the country kind of going on golf trips. So for me, the two that at least hold a sort of special place in my heart, just because they were two of the courses that sort of gave me an opportunity, and they are sort of now getting some of the credit that they deserve, would be a Sweetens Cove.
Awesome.
That was, that's one of the top 9-hole tracks, in the world. And Rob Collins, and he's been like, I've never met the guy, but I've had so many conversations with him and through Instagram, and I've posted a bunch of videos of his course. And I feel, I've only really gone down there and played it like one time, but I've, chopped up 20 days worth of footage.
Yeah.
I shot a video down there, and I've just been super connected to those guys, and I'll be going back, and I always try to take people with me when I go. So that's one. And then my second, it would be Sand Valley, which is up in Wisconsin. Two of the top tracks in the country, Mammoth Dunes and Sand Valley. And they have a 17-hole par 3 course called the Sandbox. And
amazing.
It's unlike anything I've ever seen. Just sand dunes, and I mean, Mammoth Dunes has 100-yard wide fairways. It's all fairway and bunkers, and it's massive, and it's overwhelming, and it's beautiful. And the people there, like everybody that I've come into contact with up there has just been the best. And they really try to make it a great experience. And so, that's something that really, those two courses, those two properties, for me, mean a lot. And I know that I'm going to see some really, really good courses here in the next year.
Yeah.
And so, that may change, but, it always comes back to the people that you experience when you're there. Like, the courses and the properties are fantastic, and that's great. But man, when you kind of combine them with people that want you to have a good time and want you to enjoy yourself, then that's the way it goes.
Yeah, for sure, dude. And like you said, it's all about the experience. The golf course and the building or the clubhouse, it's irrelevant as long as you're having a good time. That's the main thing with it, which is absolutely awesome. And where do you think golf fashion's going at the moment? Obviously, you're a very cool dude. You wear some really cool brands. What are your favorite brands at the moment, and where do you think golf fashion is at the moment?
Yeah, golf fashion. I mean, it's a great question. Like it's such an interesting thing, and it's something that I've just pivoted to recently. Like I listened to your previous conversation with the guy from Solo.
Yeah.
And man, we had a lot of similarities, right? Like I have a couple tattoos, not a lot, just a few. And I got them recently, like in the last 3 or 4 years.
Oh,
but like,
sweet, man.
Yeah, like my wife is like, I wanted you to have, like you should get a sleeve. Like that would be awesome.
That's
and I'm like, at the
awesome.
time, I'm like, I can't. Like that would show when I'm playing golf. And I'm like, I have this like graphic design, like cool hipster guy, Kyle guy. And then I have like this golfer guy
For sure.
that's just different and more buttoned down. And like, I have these two sort of alter egos, and like, I have just tried to push against that in the last couple of years, like so hard. Like, and it's something that I've realized is that like golf needs you to be you. Like
Yeah.
that, like that's where I've sort of landed in the fashion space, as well as just in general. Like they're like it's just, you got to be who you are. And I, like a guy who's been around the game my whole life, like I was a different guy. Like I had this golf guy, and he tucked his shirt in, and he did all these things and looked this certain way. And then
Yeah,
I would come
definitely.
out and I would, change and, put a beanie on, and, it was just, it's wild, the difference. And so, for me, like, I want to see this continual progression of, first of all, fewer rules. Like, it's a sport. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, yeah,
Like, it's a
definitely,
sport. It's a
man.
sport. It's a sport. Like, why do I have to have a collar? Like, why? Like, there's so many rules involved that aren't actually like suggesting anything. I don't even know what the point of them are. Like, I know that I could rock a pair of, nice slacks and a t-shirt, whatever. I could rock whatever I want and look better than somebody that's wearing a very bright, bold polo and whatever, like bright colored shorts or whatever you want to say is bad.
Oh, dude,
Like,
I know what you mean. 100%, dude.
yeah, it just makes no sense. And so obviously some common sense would go a long way. But this, for me, more than anything, it's this, I would love to see fashion continue to push into this hybrid of you being able to just be you. Like, that's what it is for me. Like, golf needs everybody. We need all kinds of different people. We need the orange short, white belt, polo wearing guy too. Like, that's fine. Like, whatever. We need everybody.
Yeah.
So like, do you, like, but we gotta get these sort of, I don't know, these unwritten dumb rules out. But from a fashion perspective, just more of this more of this whatever's happening right now. I'm seeing. I wear a lot of True Links wear shoes.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm wearing Link Sole right now. Yeah, I mean, just, I don't have a ton of brands that I'm just like all in on right now, but yeah, golf needs you to be you. That's really where I land with it. Like, you got to just be uniquely you, and that equals fashion, that equals personality, that equals all of that, and we need more of that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you there. As long as you're comfortable and you're not offensive, that's what it's all
Yeah,
about, man. Just have fun. Just have fun,
yeah,
dude.
yeah. I just keep coming back to it. It's like, it's a sport. Like, I don't know what we're doing. Like, I don't understand why the PGA guys can't wear shorts. Like, even from a marketing perspective, it's like, do you think, like, I've gone to PGA events and you can go in and you see Tiger's kit for the entire week, right? Well, they'll have him on a mannequin
Yeah.
Monday, Thursday through Sunday. You can see everything he's going to wear and you can go buy it. Well,
Oh, okay.
how many people are buying those pants? Nobody.
No,
Like,
100%.
even from a marketing perspective, if they were rocking shorts, like, you'd sell out of the shorts that Tiger was wearing or Rory was wearing or whatever. And so I just don't understand how it's, 110 degrees and someone's got to wear, black slacks. It's like, it's just wild to me.
It's nuts, isn't it? And I keep saying as well, like, golf is evolving. Like, you wouldn't expect to see Rory McIlroy, DJ, Tiger Woods wearing, a three-piece woolen suit like what they used to when it first
Yeah.
started. So, why hasn't it evolved to where you can wear shorts or a golf t-shirt, for instance?
No, I use that explanation all the time, and you're absolutely right. I'm like, at some point, somebody tucking in a collared shirt, like, they were the jerk, right?
100%, dude.
They were the guy that was just like out of control, not respecting the game, like, because we're not wearing ties anymore, and that's how I used to roll. So, like,
Exactly.
it's,
Exactly,
it's
dude. It needs to change. No, I mean, it took him however many years or 100 years for him to get out the suit and tie. So we might be another 100 years until we're in t-shirts.
yeah, but I'm here for it. I mean, I'm here for the brands that are pushing it. I'm here for the brands that are, sort of thinking about the way that people wear clothes outside of golf, and in the fact that those two worlds can collide. Like, that's what we need to have happen.
Yeah.
You do need to be able to walk straight from wherever you are straight onto the golf course. And I've basically changed my entire sort of wardrobe to be that.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
I wear shoes that are kind of hybrid of golf shoes slash, they're not spiked, so they can kind of wear anywhere. I usually have some sort of 5-pocket pant on with a polo that's untucked, and I'm ready to, in a golf hat. And I'm like literally, if my buddies fly down the fairway and I'm in the kitchen and they're like, "Hey, you want to roll?" I just go.
Pick up your clubs
And
and go,
so,
man. That's what it's
yeah,
about.
because
That's what it's
the
about.
course is in the backyard. So
Exactly, dude. Not all of us have that privilege, unfortunately, but that is unreal, dude. No, that's awesome. And last thing is, what's next for you, man? What's coming up?
well, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to create content in the golf space. I want to, for me, like, I'll put him out there. Like, to me, Christian Hafer, he's a guy that I spent some time with at the BMW. I was fortunate enough
Nice.
to shoot at the to be able to shoot some video at the BMW 2 weeks ago up in Olympia Fields. My first inside the rope sort of experience.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, like, Christian was kind of the guy who gave me that opportunity, and he didn't have to, like, that. I would consider that was a bit of a risk for him to give me that opportunity, considering I'd never done it before. But I've paid attention to his sort of rise over the last, whatever, 2 years or, 15 months, whatever you want to call it, where he went from a guy that was snapping pics to the director of photography for golf.com.
Crazy, isn't it?
And for me, that's where that's what I'm going for. Like, I want to be that version in video.
Yeah.
Like, I love telling stories. I believe that I'm good at it. I believe that there are stories to tell, and I want to be in this space. I want to be around the game, and I want to tell the stories that are worth telling. Not there's a lot of stories being told that aren't worth telling, but there's so many more that could be told in a more compelling way, I think. And that's sort of what I'm here for. Like, I like stories, and I like story arcs, and I like creating those narratives. And I think being able to put them, around this game that obviously is sort of a central focus of my world, is where I want to be. So whatever that looks like, whether that's telling a story for a brand, or telling a story of a player, or being involved in just creating general golf content, like, that's what I want to do. And I hope that takes me places. It gives me opportunities to see new things, but also sort of frees me up in the downtime, the time when I'm not out shooting or not out editing, to, be able to focus on this community that I'm building here with the Gimme Golf Club. So for me, it's a little bit of both. It's telling those stories, creating that content, sort of scratching that itch, and being able to be creative and do those things. And then there's a little bit of the sort of entrepreneurial side that wants to keep growing this business here and find a way to, grow the, hashtag grow the game, find a way to, do better and create more opportunities and bring the game to a lot of new people. So that's, it's a lot, and it's sort of really hitting some interesting points right now. There's a lot of opportunity, but yeah, man, I'm excited. And I've told a couple people that have hired me and are looking to hire me for gigs. It's like, I don't think I'm motivated to create in this space. Like, I'm very, very motivated to create golf content and to tell stories. So that's where a lot of my focus will be for the next couple years, for sure.
Oh, dude, and best of luck to you with it. And, from what I've seen now, you're absolutely killing it. And like I said, a huge, huge fan of your stuff, and the way you capture everything is aesthetically just so beautiful.
Thank you,
really, really amazing stuff. And, where can people check out your stuff?
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm not really doing a lot on YouTube yet.
Yeah.
But I think as we start to, once we officially land this indoor space and that whole process starts, I think I think documenting that would be some pretty sick, like non-golf content, which is what I'm always looking for. I'm always looking for non-golf content. I think that's the key to creating good golf content, is leave out some of the golf.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do have a YouTube channel. There's a bunch of old stuff on there. There's some interesting things on there. That 30 video and 30 day project is on there. I always think that's an interesting way for someone to kind of learn a little bit more about my world. And then, yeah, just Kyle C. Walton on Instagram. Like that's sort of where I'm living right now, is just, posting when I can, but there's just a lot of content being created for other sources right now. So
yeah, for sure.
And I can't share that stuff. That's all theirs, and that's fine. But, yeah, that's really where it's at, man. I'm just sort of solely on Instagram right now, and we have some things cooking. So, and then Matt Cardis, Golf in Your State, his YouTube channel. I mean, that's all content that I'm sharing in and helping create, and he's worth, that YouTube channel is worth checking out as well.
Oh no, that's awesome, man. And dude, thank you so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate your time, dude. That's very kind of you. And guys, check Kyle Walton out. Check out Gimme Golf Club. It's definitely something that everyone needs to see. Absolutely love it, and it's gonna completely mind boggle you and flip your perception on golf, which is what it's about. And yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Thank you very much, Carl. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace out. Bye.
Yeah.